We had a rather rainy fall where we had more than 20 inches of rain in about a 10-day period of time. The most rain falling on September the 8th, which was the tropical storm Lee. And the ground was saturated and the water had nowhere to go. And it just started running down the hill here and accumulating here around the base of our house. And even though we have French drains and even though we have a sump pump system, it just overwhelmed the system. And water came up out of the sump pump, across the French drains, and coated our entire lower level, so that we had to basically take everything out of the lower level. All the flooring came up, we had to remove all the carpeting. Many of the permanent pieces of furnishings there were ruined. We had to replace those. We're in our 70s, so physically that was quite traumatic and physically discomforting, but emotionally all of the trauma of going through replacing everything and ordering new carpeting and getting subcontractors to come in to do work. Our roof leaked also, and that caused damage in our bedroom. The ceiling actually fell down, so I had to get a new roof. I had to get everything in the lower level replaced, and it was really quite traumatic.
I wasn't home that day. She was here.
She's
in there looking out the window watching it.
I was watching the water running down this hill, and I happened to look over here, and I could see that there were like 3 inches of water across the sidewalk next to my garage. And I thought, oh my God, the water's coming in my garage. So I ran out to the garage, and I didn't really see it coming in there. But when I stepped back into the mudroom, which is adjacent to the garage, I could see the carpet getting darker from the corner. It's getting darker and darker, and it's coming toward me. And I'm panicked. I didn't know what to do to stop it. So I ran into the family room, and the same thing was happening. Every corner of the room, the water was creeping across the floor, and I was just totally terrified. I started grabbing things that were on the floor and trying to put them up higher so they wouldn't be damaged. And I ran and called him, and for the first time in 25 years of marriage, I said to him, I'm afraid. You have to come home.
Well, the water was at least a foot high there, coming down that. A foot high, if you can imagine that.
The pictures I took don't do justice to the reality of the intensity of how quickly the water was flowing. It looked like a creek instead of what you see there. I have been a nervous wreck since the hurricane started. I look every day to see if there are any new ones and if any of them are tracking toward the Florida area or expected to go up the East Coast, because I'm extremely aware of all of that now, and I get anxious every time we have more than an inch of rain.